while we're waiting. So freaking, we got free Control Freaks, right? The brand new Destiny Gold ones from the event. They're for PS4. So I'm gonna go into GameStop later today and be like, I picked out the wrong ones earlier. Can I just switch this for Xbox One versions?
You're gonna be like, sure, where's your receipt?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, actually, my grandmother bought them. She doesn't believe in paper, so.
And she died this morning. So
yeah, she died this morning. We cremated her with everything still in her pockets, including the receipt. So. Oh man. Hey guys, Garen here. Welcome back to the channel today, and this is going to be episode 17, I lied, of the Last Word podcast, but we're going to be doing this one a little bit differently. For those of you watching in the future, Destiny 2 was just revealed 2 days ago. I was there, and so today's just going to be a live Q&A. Anything and everything you guys want to know, we're just going to be answering. And just while we wait for people to start asking stuff in chat, I have an awesome story to tell, right? So, my first day there, I get there, and I wanted to eat some In-N-Out burger, so... You know, everyone says that. It's amazing. I was really freaking interested. So I go there, and I actually end up leaving like 2 hours early. I was supposed to wait for some Destiny Reddit mods, and I got hungry because of the time change, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go. And who else do I meet there than all the big YouTubers, including the guy that really influences my channel, Rex. And it was so bad. Like, I botched it so hard. I was just like blabbing on. I was very obviously fanboying, and I thought I screwed it up so much because I didn't get any footage and stuff, and so I go to eat my burger and stuff, and I realized I didn't even pay attention to my food. Like, I was so distraught that I had ruined that experience, that I wasn't even paying attention, so I went back the next day, and it's really fantastic. But, Jay-Z, do you want to tell them the first thing I did after that?
Well, you called your fiance, but then you called me, right?
Yeah, in like 2 minutes
and he's
after
like,
it happened.
Yeah, so I gave him a father-son pep talk. And he was like, dude, you didn't ruin anything. You're fine. Just, I mean, I'm sure they bigger YouTubers get that all the time. So
yeah.
But
it
I hope
worked
that
out all right.
It calmed you down a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. It was the next day. I talked to him. I talked to a lot of people, and it went really well. But yeah, so that's that story. We have a lot of people in here, so let's go ahead and talk about Destiny 2. Hell yeah. So, Icono and Jay-Z, you guys, what do you guys want to know about first? What do we start talking about?
I want to know about the menus. I want to know how fast it is to get into your menu.
Okay.
If it's smoother, like if I have to go pop a heavy synth, is it gonna lag out and cause me to die in the meantime? Is that stuff gone, or is it still doing it?
Okay, so the way this works, the menus, we actually didn't have access to all the menus. We were on a pre-alpha build. So I guess we technically might have been on the alpha build. I'm not really sure how this works. But the menus were all locked. So we had our character screen and we had the settings screen. It loaded very quickly, but that might be because we were playing LAN. I'm not really sure how that is affected by wireless and whatnot. Furthermore, you are still kicked out of your menu when you load in, which sucks. That tells me it's something deeper in the code than something just like a single value or something if they haven't fixed it yet. But yeah, you're still kicked out of your menu. The UI looks almost identical. The only difference really is that instead of an artifact slot, you have a clan banner slot, and that was locked. So we don't know if that actually like influences like your armor values and recovery. Oh, that's another thing we can talk about. I'm going to do a video on this. So discipline, strength, and intellect are gone. You no longer have them. Instead, they were replaced by armor, recovery, and agility, and those are now your stats on your armor, which makes a lot more sense to me. So that's pretty much everything with the UI. All the settings menus look exactly the same, like exactly the same. Yeah.
So like all the weapons and armor, they all have light still?
Yes. So it was, like I said, it was a little bit iffy. Your player still has a light level, and yes, that is influenced by your weapons level. And people said, so there was no clear indication of a character level, But some of the YouTubers got capture footage of them inspecting the ghost. Not inspecting, but like rolling their cursor over it. And it was the only piece of armor that required you to be level 14 before you did it. So there are player levels as well in this build. So player and light level. Yeah.
Interesting. So it's basically the same system they have now, unchanged.
Yeah, and a lot of people were asking about infusion too. In the build we had, you could not inspect the weapons. You could like roll your cursor over them, but when you hit triangle because we were on on PlayStation, to inspect them, nothing happened. Like you couldn't go into your your shader menu and stuff either. It was very limited in what we could check out, unfortunately. Yep. All right.
That's about all I had.
All right, Jay-Z, run your first one, and then we can take a community question. We can do like a
okay. So the graphics and gunplay, were they
gorgeous,
on
beautiful,
par,
better,
Okay.
better. So the graphics. So you know how like Halo 3, it's got pretty good graphics, but when you start playing Halo 4, it's the dark, gritty. You start off in your space station or whatever. And it's so much darker, and you can tell that it's smoother and stuff. It's the exact same thing. It looks very similar to that in reality, actually. Very dark colors, gritty textures. There's still a lot of bright colors, don't get me wrong, but it's got the contrast going for it. Much more detailed. You can tell they put a lot of time into the environment. You know, in the cutscene when Zavala places his Titan bubble, and it's got that really cool new like animation, like with the swirling like on the bubble. In game when Zavala uses it, it's the same animation. Like they redid everything, and it's beautiful, and it runs so smoothly, and yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Here, and we'll go ahead and take one from this. Let's see. Yeah, someone asked, Steel Shot Greninja asked if I saw the Sweet Business exotic. I actually got to play with all three of the exotics. Sunshot Pistol, Sweet Business Auto Rifle, and the Risk Runner SMG. And the Sweet Business is the minigun, the Gatling gun that you get to hold. It's not too good, actually. Maybe in PvE. I didn't use it in PvE. In PvP, it took a lot of bullets to kill someone, and it speeds up as you fire, so that could be something that I wasn't able to use. I'm more of like a run and gun kind of guy. So I guess if you're a tank and you like to sit in sort of the back of the map, not really the back, but like Overwatch and take people out, that's going to be a gun for you. The Risk Runner was an SMG. Whenever you took arc damage for like 5 seconds, you had unlimited ammo and did more damage. And it was crazy because that one was your secondary slot. So you could still run like a hand cannon and have an SMG, which is what I did. And it's so good. SMGs are beautiful, guys. They're gorgeous. And then the final exotic, Sunshot. Oh, sorry, you go?
Didn't the final boss of that strike, he shot arc, correct?
Yes.
So that was probably a good weapon against him.
Yeah, and that's what people were asking, like, why do you need a kinetic weapon and, two primary weapons? And my response is so you can run exotics that are situational and not give up your exotic slot. So in that strike, whenever we were fighting the Cabal, I was running a pulse rifle. But whenever we went to the Vex and a lot of the Vex like harpies, I don't think we shot any harpies actually. Now that I think about it, but anytime there's an enemy shooting arc, scions even, then I would switch to that and I would just mow him down because it's really good. It really is just a fantastic weapon. So that's a perfect example of why the kinetic elemental 2 primary slots work so well. And then just the final exotic, I think you guys will like this. It's called the Sunshot. It's a hand cannon, and it's like the icebreaker. So it has explosive rounds, and when you kill someone, regardless of where the shot is, they blow up. It is pretty much an icebreaker in hand cannon form. It's really good, though.
I think Biff said it was similar to, or he said it's like a solar Fatebringer almost.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that has Firefly, so it's a little bit more because everyone explodes with the Sunshot. But essentially, yeah, and it's really good as well. That one was on the Gunslinger. They kind of had the exotics on their respective class that they make sense. So the Risk Runner was on the Warlock, the Titan got the Sweet Business Gatling gun, and the Hunter got the hand cannon. So it was pretty cool dynamic right there. Yeah. Let's see. Scarrow, what new weapon types are there? So grenade launchers are brand new. And someone was asking what the difference between a grenade launcher and a rocket is. And that's actually really simple. So rockets, whenever you pick up the heavy, and we'll get to how this works, the powered ammo in a second. Whenever you pick up the powered ammo, you get 1 rocket. But you get, I think it was like 4 or 5 grenade launcher ammo. And so rockets have a larger blast radius, but the grenades are really good at like crowd control and stuff, and like keeping enemies at bay. And they are also really powerful if you manage to get like a direct hit. And yeah, and then new weapon types. Okay, you got it.
I do have a question on grenade, because I thought there was one that said like shoots mini rockets that track targets. Didn't one of the weapons say that? Or something similar to that?
One of the weapons. I don't remember that. I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
I try to use everything. I could have just missed something. Shoots mini rockets that tracks targets.
Yeah, or slightly track. I thought it was.
That's not the dubious volley, is it?
I think it might have been that.
No, we didn't get access to the dubious volley.
It was something when I was watching the reveal.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean the dubious volley in the reveal did that, but no one got to, like, it wasn't in our build. We couldn't play with it.
Okay, so that might have just been what they showed in the reveal then, because I saw that one. It looked kind of cool. So
it was super powerful, for sure.
Yeah.
And then just to wrap that up, sidearms are now considered like primary weapons. You can use them in your kinetic slot. That was all right. They're still trigger fingerable. They weren't too good. I was having a lot of fun running a hand cannon, an SMG, and a sniper. And so, oh my god, guys, snipers are crispy. There were no shots where I was like, oh, I should have hit that. It was just like headshot, headshot, headshot. I mean, it was very nice, for sure. So they updated that system for sure. Okay, I guess we'll start back over. Icono, do you have any more questions for me?
It's like I have a million questions, but I don't even know what to ask. You know,
yeah.
Honestly, there's nothing. There's nothing that's like really perplexing me that I can't wait on too. So,
okay.
I think I'm good.
All right, Jay-Z, on to your next one then.
Okay, so like, it looked like from the videos of the PvP content that the time to kill was upped a little bit, which makes me happy because I like that. Is that true?
Yeah. So, I'm not sure if what they did was increase the player health or lower the damage. Because like a fusion grenade, there's no grenade that'll kill you in one hit. I think of all the grenades, I think the trip mine does the most damage. Very nearly kills you. Very powerful. Solar grenades are usable again. I got a couple of double kills with solar grenades. They still tick for, I think it's 6 damage. I think it's 6 ticks to 6 now. Yeah, so auto rifles take a long time to kill people. SMGs were down around the time that like a doctrine takes to kill people now, kind of like the high fire rate around like 2 seconds. They took about that time. Hand cannons. This is the thing, I cannot remember for the life of me, because there were very few instances with it being 4-on-4 in a small map. There were very few instances where it was just me versus another player, and I'm trying to think if it was.
So I was watching Miss 5,000 Watts, and it looked like it was taking about 4 hand cannon bullets, 4 or 5 to kill people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think it was about 3 headshots in a body, which is normal. 3 headshots will kill someone in this one, so I think they upped it a little bit for sure. But I mean it's not ridiculous compared to what we have now. I mean, initially when I started using the Sweet Business, that's the first gun I used, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it took a while to kill someone. But I think that was mainly just how that exotic's supposed to function. It's more of a crowd control kind of thing. But I mean, like, snipers are still one-shot kills to the head. They are not one-shot body shots. There's that rumor going around. That's a nasty rumor, but it's not true. Throwing knives are still really powerful. They're not one-hit kills, but they still, they're very important. All supers were kind of redesigned to wipe an entire team. There's not really a super that can't wipe an entire team. You're very obviously supposed to. I mean, 6 golden shots, come on, right? A roaming striker, you can get in like 3 or 4 slams, which is ridiculous. But, yeah. So, yes, time to kill is definitely up. Which is very nice.
I like that, yeah. Takes more skill.
Yes, and it gives you time to like. There were situations where I was very low on health, but I would like. Here's a tip for you guys: if you, Angel of Light, if you pick that specific build for the Warlock, it's automatically applied. And so what I would do, I would run up on a corner, and if someone would start shooting me, and I'd let them get me to the point where I was about dead, and I would run right up to the corner and just jump as high as I could in the air and hold it there with Angel of Light, and the guy would run right underneath me, and still I was able to melee and stick him with a grenade and then easily finish him off with my primary. It's a really good tactic. It's a dirty tactic, but that's some insider tips right there. Yeah. Did you ask anything else I didn't answer there? Did I go off on a tangent? I don't remember.
No, I asked the time to kill. So.
Oh yeah. It's increased for sure. All right, let's see if someone else has a question. All right, Psycho asks, how do you think changing your armor recovery and agility will affect the raid mechanics? It's a good question. I don't really know how they're gonna do raids. I don't know if they're gonna be more jump puzzly. I mean, I imagine it'll affect the same way that armor and stuff does now. It's not super noticeable, but it matters a little bit. For instance, for like jumping puzzles, I know a lot of people like to crank their agility all the way up, so I'm sure it'll matter. It's sort of like that, but it's really not a huge thing. Yeah. What do you guys think? That's something I obviously wasn't able to experience. Do you think that the kind of switching of mechanics there is going to affect raids and endgame activities at all, or?
I would think, but like that's so going in your menu and going to your class abilities and changing your agility and armor was probably easier than switching pieces of armor unless you can do it on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like we'll have to get with the game and see the raid or see the in-game activities to see if that like you have a specific piece of armor, because I like to min-max everything. So will I have a specific piece of armor that I use for the puzzle, or will I have one that I use for the boss encounters or this or that? So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see. Like at least they're trying something new, and you can't fault them for that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Josh is going to be devastated that his tier 12 build won't be coming back. Oh, man.
He'll have a tier 13 agility build. So we'll be
right.
fine.
You'll just be jumping everywhere.
Yeah.
That'll be the new thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll change it too much. I think I like the universal cooldown a lot more, though. All golden guns will get their super at the exact same time.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that a lot more. So,
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Icano? Icano, are you muted? Are you dead? Did we kill Icano?
Oops. No, I did mute because I had to sneeze and I forgot to unmute. No, I agree. The universal cooldown is awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Especially for grenades, less grenade spam. And I didn't see anything on any of the first, like even the Warlock build for double grenades, so that's good too.
No,
but they might have a piece of armor.
I did not see anything like that either. And I think it comes. I mean, you get grenades way more slowly, and I think with how powerful these supers are, being able to get your super back super quickly would be very detrimental to the other team. So I like the universal cooldown. It's like I said,
they were. Weren't they saying like 1 to 2 supers a PvP match at the most?
I did not see anyone getting 2 at all. Like I said,
that's good. That's good.
I went on a 14 kill streak.
Because they're more situational now.
Yeah. I went on a 14 kill streak with chaining supers, and I used my super as soon as I got it, and I still only got 1.
That's
playing
good.
Objective,
I like that.
at least in this mission, did not give you super energy, which was really weird. So.
So now as a team, you have to ration out your supers, which I like, if that's how it's going to be. So like you can use them all early and take the lead, or you can use them late and possibly steal the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like that.
I'm really interested to because I did the orb research in this one with the big and little orbs, and it takes 6 big and 12 little. I'm really interested to see how that changes in Destiny 2, because it seems like 12 orbs period was taken to charge the super. So I'm really interested to actually test that and learn a little bit more about that. But yeah, I like that system a lot more. Let's see.
There's nothing you can do to speed up your super.
I'm
did we
sure
see
there's perks or exotics, but in the build that we were playing, no. Not that I saw.
Interesting.
It was everyone just got it at the same time. Like I said, in the objective in the mode we were playing Countdown, planting or defusing the bomb did not give you super energy. The orbs barely do anything. It really comes down to that. Yeah. So no, not really. Not to increase your super or anything like that. I'm sure there's got to be some types of perks or something, because that's like they're just cutting off like an avenue of exotics or something if they don't do that. So I'm sure there will be something, but let's see. Jason Tyler asks, what do you think about the new class side abilities, dodge, the rift, and the shield? I thought that was awesome. So the hunter dodge, listen, I don't know how much you guys know about these, but they're actually quite powerful. So the hunter, it has 2 dodges. One, you can do it and it automatically reloads your gun. So you do the side step kind of thing. It takes like the same amount of time as shade step, but your gun is automatically reloaded. Do you know how crazy that's going to be in Crucible? You can just take.
Is there a cooldown?
There's a couple second cooldown, but it's nothing big. I would say a couple second. It's probably like 30 second. I mean, it's just like, it's another ability. It's like a grenade or melee. But, I mean...
And so, like, if you're doing Gunslinger or the new Arc, whatever it is called, you still have it regardless of what subclass you're choosing?
So, we were not able to play both subclasses of any class, but according to the people at the PvP booth, yes. But like I said, I cannot confirm that as a first-hand source, just based on what they were telling me. So, like the Bungie employees running the PvP, they said that was the idea. So, but once again, pre-beta build, so who knows? So yeah, and then the Hunter's second one, it's actually like the Shade Step animation, but you don't turn like shady. You just do like a roll, and if you're close enough to an enemy and you roll away, it either significantly increases or it automatically gives your melee back. Like, either you get a huge burst to your melee damage, or you automatically get it, which is insane, because I imagine Arcstrider is going to have some really good Blink Strike-esque kind of melee. I mean, it was really good. I used it for throwing knives as well. Like, I would shade step away, and then I would automatically have a throwing knife. I mean, that's awesome right there. So, that's a really good move. The rifts for Warlocks. Did Lucid say the second one was increased damage?
Yeah, the one's health, the other one's damage.
Yeah, and so it's not even... I thought initially for sure it was going to be like increase your recovery. That's not the case at all. If you're standing in that rift, you're gaining health back. It's very... There were instances where I would know the other team was like ahead of me, so I would put it down behind a corner and just like dodge in and out, and I was like taking on multiple people because I was getting my health back in like seconds. So it was really cool. And then the shield, you can either do like a miniature shield that's like waist level, and if you crouch and get like on it, and in Destiny, whenever you aim and you're behind a wall, you automatically aim over it. If you do that, it automatically reloads your weapon when you get back down. And then there's a huge shield that you can use to block off doors, and it's gigantic. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And so I feel like what the ideas were with these, they kind of took subclasses that are not coming back and reintegrated them into the classes that were. So the Titan kind of gets a Defender-esque kind of wall. The Warlock gets like a Song of Flame kind of thing. Or what's the one where all of your teammates' cooldowns are quickened? It's sort of...
I have that class on right now. Let me look at it.
Okay, yeah. I think it's Song of Flame, but I could be wrong. They essentially... I mean, but it's not cooldowns. It's damage and health, which, I mean, that's Viking Funeral and...
It is Song of Flame.
Yeah, there you go.
Correct.
So, and then with the Hunter, you kind of get the bow... the tether shade step kind of thing back, which is really cool. It's kind of a way to show the classes that are not coming back. Yeah. All right.
I think Warlocks sound like they're going to be most raid useful of all the well, Warlocks and Titans, obviously.
For now, keep in mind we still haven't seen 3 of the 6 subclasses, so
Yeah, but I mean, if they keep, you said they're keeping the same abilities though for both subclasses.
For the most part, if it's like, sort of, yeah. I mean,
yeah, like I can't see how Arc Strider is going to be useful in the raid. So hunters are pretty much gonna be doing Gunslinger, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really excited to see what kind of new perks they bring to that.
Hunters, it's probably just gonna be like Year 1 in Destiny 1, where like hunters were basically useless in the raid.
Nah, man, don't say that. Not my hunters, not me hunters. I don't know, with 6 golden gun shots, they could definitely be a DPS source for sure. And as far as I could tell, they still do the same amount of damage. XS1 Phantom Hunter asks if the Pocket Infinity is still available to get. Man, it's not even available in Year 3 of Destiny 1. I don't think it's going to be in Destiny 2. I guess we'll find out, but I don't think it's very likely at all. Yeah, all right, Jay-Z, what's your next question?
Look at my list here.
All right.
So I wrote down a lot more things that I liked, or I had like ideas that I had from it, from what either the reveal event or what I saw from gameplay of people that were allowed to record. So I really liked what they were. So you probably didn't get to see any of this firsthand, but they were talking about the clan abilities where, like, say our core group of people do more raids, but it helps out the whole clan as a whole. So that was actually something Ratul talked about probably about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago when we were on, where some other games, like as a clan, if you do this, everybody gets this special icon or something like that. So I wonder if that's kind of a nod to that when they were talking about it.
And I'm really interested how this is. No, so we didn't get any like gameplay or anything of that. We weren't able to mess with that. That was all locked. But one thing that worries me, we just went through this clan expansion where we separated our clan into 4 parts.
Yeah.
So is it going to be beneficial to us to recombine everything? Like,
it might be. I don't know.
We could still keep like the idea of factions for our clans. We could keep that like on the line app and stuff. But man, yeah, I don't know.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, we'll see how that works. So we'll see how that works. I like that though. Clans being implemented into Destiny 2. People were freaking out at the premiere when they said that. I think that's a genius idea. The thing where if you're matchmaking and there's 3 of you guys and it automatically pairs you with one random person, or 5 and 1 random person, and it kind of introduces people into clans. Genius, like guided matchmaking.
So you did like that raid matchmaking and stuff like that, like where you basically look for a group on Destiny 2 rather. Okay, because
yes, I like that because it's not
reservation.
It's not random people, and it's essentially putting the 100 in the game. That's what it's doing. Like whenever we need one random person, we go to the 100. But instead of that, we can actually look for someone who's actually interested in learning the raid and potentially joining our clan. I think it is genius.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Like I guess that scared me early on in Destiny. Go ahead.
It wasn't answered, but I know it was locked, so you couldn't say. But what I'm questioning is, like, I'm in a clan. It's 4 in the morning. I can't sleep. None of the clan members are online right now. I just want to jump on and do a nightfall really quick. If I'm in a clan, can I use that? So if I'm in a clan, can I say I'm available and can I join up with another clan, or is it only for people who aren't in clans?
That's a good question.
The impression I'm getting is that they're pushing it to people who aren't in clans to try and get them to join a clan. What if I'm in a clan and all of my clan is asleep and I want to do something with another group? So
that's a good question.
They didn't really explain that, and I think that is a good question that nobody was really asked so far. And that's important to me because there's lots of times where I sign on and I really want to do something and literally no one's on.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
I think it's for everybody. I don't think it's just for your clan. From what they were explaining, but they didn't. Yeah, they didn't say one way or another.
It would be more work to lock people out that are already in a clan rather than just open it up to everyone. So I assume that it's open to everyone, but that's definitely
it'd be
a good
the same
question.
thing as you so you'd be one solo in a clan asking for 4 members. So it would probably make you opposite of 4 members looking for 1, or if that's the case.
Yeah,
is my guess.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, but that whole thing, I'm so interested to see how that's fleshed out in the coming months. Because genius, well done. And the one thing I really gathered from this whole reveal and playing it is they're really embracing the MMO side of Destiny. And I think if they would have done that from the start, it would have been a lot better. But in the gameplay reveal, we got all those amazing, lucrative sets of armor that are more MMO. We got the open world talking NPC, more MMO. We got the treasure maps and stuff. All of this, clan features, all of it is just MMO, and they should have
That
been
all
doing it from
makes
the
me
start.
very happy.
Yes.
Very happy.
Exactly, and I'm very, you know, this'll be like the first MMO on consoles. I mean, I'm sure there's been examples. I'm sure I can't think of any right now. People in chat can let me know. But I think that this is what Destiny should have been from the start. And I'm glad it got fleshed out in the way it did, but I think it's time to really show what Destiny has. And it's already on track to be the most pre-ordered game in history, and we're 4 months out. So, oh Jesus. Okay, so yeah, I think people are gonna love Destiny. I think it's gonna be absolutely game changing, and I'm really excited for it. All right, I want to take a chat question real quick. Dragon Nerd asks if I think each of the different enemy groups, such as the Vex, will have a specific burn. I don't think so. I think I mean, just from playing, I can tell you that's not the case. But I think it makes more sense for like Scions to have a specific burn like they do, like in Destiny 1 their arc. And Minotaurs in Destiny 1 shoot void torch hammers. You know, you can have a couple variations where like Hive, they're either arc boomers or they're shooting like solar bullets from their whatever those are called, the nail guns. And stuff like that. But having an entire class as one element just would make it a little bit too easy to give you an advantage over that whole enemy group. Like if you're going into a Hive thing and they're all arc, why would you not just, I mean, you could wreck them. So it makes more sense to have individual groups. Do you guys agree with that? Just
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's just bad game design if they do that.
Yeah.
And then one question, this is one I wanted to actually ask myself, but Dragon Nerd also asked this one. What do you think of, excuse me, wow, that was bad. What do you think the third subclass for each class will be like? So, I personally am under the impression that there will not be a third subclass on launch. I feel like they would have, if it was a returning subclass, I feel like they would have hyped it up as being redone, like, you know, Striker, Golden Gun, and I believe Nova Bomb. We saw some gameplay of that. I want to go back and really look at that. You know, if they redid the Taking King classes in the same aspect, I really think they would have showed that off. And if it was a brand new subclass, I really think they would have showed that off even more. So I think there will only be 2 at launch per character. So I kind of
they'll do the same thing. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No.
I really do think it's going to be just the 2.
Okay.
Just like vanilla. Just look at this as being just vanilla Destiny 1 all over again. And we're going to start with 2, and then with probably the first DLC or maybe the second DLC, we're going to get a third. So I think we should get comfortable with using Gunslinger for another year or so.
Mm-hmm. And I'm personally fine with that. We'll do Jay-Z right after this, but I like having a new subclass coming in late because then it adds more diversity into the game later, you know? Like, if tethers were in the game initially, I don't think Taking King would have been as fun. I think it would have been kind of drowning out-ish. So you said you only think there's only 2 as well, right, Jay-Z?
Yeah, no, and I think they're going to do the same path they did with Destiny 1, the year 1 DLC or the second DLC. They'll bring in because I mean, honestly, who played with Blade Dancer after Voidbow came in? Hunters. Like seriously, like it
That's
pretty
also
much
that
almost wiped out
updates
that entire
when,
class.
Yeah, that updates when they nerfed it hard in PvP too. So
yes.
with the skip grenades and such, so.
Like, I was only a Blade Dancer year 1 until, you know, Voidbow came out.
Oh, rather, I said skip grenade. I mean Arc Bolt. Do you guys remember when Arc Bolt was the grenade? And the Lucky Raspberry and stuff? And that guy kind of changed a lot. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really excited. Well, okay, so of the 3 new subclasses, I've only played with Dawnblade. We weren't able to play the other 2. Which do you guys think looks the most interesting? Dawnblade, Sentinel, or Arcstrider?
Well, I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing with Sentinel because I love Captain America. But Dawnblade looked like it was really powerful, just based on like the gameplay. Like every time that Warlock jumped in the air and started throwing those things, I mean, it was melting. There was a particular part in the story mission where they came upon a named Cabal, and he had like those 3 blocks of health, and he had a shield, so he looked like he had a lot of health. And they were using the exotic minigun, and they were kind of chipping away at him. As soon as they went to Dawnblade, they jumped up in the air and they just threw like 3 of those things, and it just melted them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that gave me a really clear indication of how powerful those things are going to be. So I think it looks like Dawnblade's probably going to be the meta as far as PvE power. But me personally, I'll probably be rocking Sentinel because A, because I love my Titan, B, because I love Captain America and all that. That just looks really sweet.
I think Sentinel will be really good at like Clash and no, not necessarily Clash, game modes with objectives, because there was that one part where it shows that the shield kind of can track and bounce between different enemies, and so if you go into a room with 4 enemies, they're all dead. Like it'll bounce off everything, and so I think it'll be really powerful. I'm really interested to see how they do Arcstrider myself. Jay-Z, which one are you most excited for of the 3?
Well, I'm Warlock Master Race, so it's going to be Dawnblade, of course.
Ooh.
And that was actually one of my points that I was going to bring up, is like the other 2 classes, they actually ripped off. I'm surprised they're not going to get. They might get sued, or they might have paid them. I don't know. So for obviously for the Titan, it's Captain America, but I don't know if you've ever played Orochi Warriors. Either of you?
I've never even heard of that.
What is that?
Okay. It's like a hack and slash game.
Sounds like Japanese.
But it's Chinese. Well, it's
there
Chinese and Japanese character. It's all But there's a the Monkey King Sun Wukong is a mythical Chinese character, and he has almost the exact moveset as the was it Strider or what was it called?
Yeah.
Arcstrider. Like the exact same, because he has a staff and he does the same like twirling like attacks as that. So so they kind of ripped off 2 characters.
Didn't get sued for making Athena Captain America after
that's
making
right. I forgot about Athena. Yeah.
Blatant references. I just don't think there's enough stuff for copyright infringement there.
Yeah.
I'm super interested though. It looks so good. All of them. I'm worried. I think the make or break thing about Arcstrider for me is if you can throw it. If it's a melee only class, that'll hurt it a little bit in my opinion. But I still think it'll be really good for PvP. I don't know. Having played Dawnblade, I'm not really a Warlock fanboy, but oh my goodness, there were times where there's a time I threw a sword. And it like does this. It like kind of turns in midair. It kind of like goes horizontal so it goes like vertical and it kind of turns to horizontal over time. Yeah. And I killed 2 enemies like that, and then immediately like you can spam it too. So I killed 2, and then I killed 2 more. So I wiped the entire team in a matter of seconds with it. So, yeah.
Well, in year 1, in Destiny 1 year 1, the Warlocks were the only class that didn't have like a. I guess the Titans didn't either. Let me take that back. The Warlocks and Titans didn't have like a class that could run around the map and kill multiple people. Yeah. Now they all do, which is good. Because both the Blade Dancer and Gunslinger, you could kill multiple people like around the map rather than just in one spot.
Mm-hmm. So. And I just feel like if you can't throw, so. Yeah, I guess you kind of have to look at it. Striker is now a roaming super that doesn't have any range to it. I assume Nova Bomb is going to be a roaming super to some extent that won't have any range to it, per se, kind of. It's Nova Bomb. So I guess it makes sense for Hunters to have a roaming super with no range as well, because they already have Golden Gun, which is... Yeah, so, yeah, okay. Maybe I won't be too disappointed if you can't throw it. I think the acrobatics and stuff, I think that was a really cool way to do it. I'm just interested to see how we learn these. We had them in the mission 1, but obviously you're not going to have it in mission 1 like in the final build. That wouldn't make any sense, like lore wise. So I'm pretty excited to see how they explain all that for sure. Yeah, Zesia says, with subclasses, I feel that Hunter's got the worst end of the stick. The super is so uncreative, it basically copies Blade Dancer. I mean, that sort of. I can see that. I'm going to wait till I can play it to make a final verdict on it, though. I'm going to give it a chance, because Dawnblade seemed like it was just hammer, but it's honestly a lot more than hammer, so... yeah. All right, Jay-Z, what's your next one?
Look. Time to kill. Supers, gunplay, clean abilities. So here's another thing that I liked, because we talked about this in the last podcast, but I love just going on patrol and doing something else while I'm patrolling and just having fun, and the larger patrol area with more stuff to do from what they explained. I know you didn't get to test it, but that really, really excited me. They actually made different locales within our solar system I liked. So it wasn't just, the moon, Venus, Mars, to start out with. And then, so you and I talked last week before you went. Like I said, I'd be super pumped if they just made tweaks and improvements and then just gave you all new weapons, locales, missions, all that other stuff. Like, I'd be happy with that, but it looks like they actually did a lot to tweak things. So I was super pumped about that.
One thing I'm wondering with the new locations. So we have Titan, we have Io. So let's go through these. So Titan is Saturn's moon as a liquid ocean, presumably beneath its ice. Everyone knows that. Io is what I'm most interested in. I actually mentioned this to Icono months ago. I don't know if you were on that episode. That was on an episode of Last Word. Io is the most volcanically active body that we know of. It is one of the smallest moons, but it is just pure methane and sulfur and volcanoes. So I'm very excited for that. Yes, Psycho pointed out methane ocean, not water ocean. I meant to correct that, but that's on Titan. So Io is just volcanically active. It's crazy. So I'm really interested to know how they do that in Destiny 2. And then the new planet isn't something that's real. Do you guys remember what it's called? Like Cessia or something like that?
I don't remember the name offhand, but is it a Vex
Nessus
planet?
Nessus. Nessus?
Was it Nessus? I thought I had seen it.
No, Nessus. Nessus.
Okay, so Nessus. You sure?
I'm pretty positive.
Okay,
I
so
watched
Nessus.
the video like 4 times.
Okay, man. Yeah, so Nessus. That we got to play. The strike that we played was on Nessus, and it's really cool. It's the red. I don't know if you guys watch Doctor Who, but that's what Gallifrey is supposed to look like. The Doctor's planet. It's like red plants everywhere, and like a silver sky kind of thing, and it definitely had that vibe going. It was really cool. But other than that, like, that's not a real planet that we know of. Like, that's not something in real life. But the environment was amazing. It was like overgrown Vex ruins. There was like a milk waterfall, like the fluid that I can't think of at the moment. Starts with a P. I don't remember. The Vex milk.
Yeah, there's a really funny moment. There's a funny moment in the strike where the ghost calls it out. He's like, "Oh, there's a waterfall of Vex milk. Can we
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
That's another thing. The ghost was definitely funny for this one. They brought that game back strong, man. And that makes me think. I don't think we're gonna lose our ghosts. At this point, since he was in a strike. And since he was in the initial gameplay, the first mission, I just don't.
Remember that there's something. Well, remember that there's still something that we haven't seen yet, and they did show it in a video very briefly in the reveal, where they talk about that at one point you do lose all your powers, and that you can't even run. You're just stumbling, and they show like Zavala falling over, and like all the guardians falling over. I think at that point of the game, it's like very early in the homecoming mission. I'm wondering if that is when you lose your ghost.
I don't think it's very early in homecoming, because that's when we see Zavala and Ikora use their powers. Is like halfway through homecoming. And, you know, you get that quote from Zavala that says, if the Guardians can get back their power, then we can too. And that's the whole reason they go to their respective planets. I think it'll be after, like, when Gaul captures us at the end. If that's going to happen, that's when it's going to happen. He's going to, like...
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just thinking that at some point we're going to lose our ghost. And then we're going to have to revive our dead ghost when we get our light back and when we get our new subclasses. I would assume that's how it's going to work. So I do still think that our ghost is going to, maybe if not fully die, just at least be disabled at some point.
Okay. Yeah, because, I mean, like I said, he's in a strike, and so he's obviously a fundamental part of the campaign in some part. So we'll see from that. It's really cool because he was talking to Zavala, Zavala has like an AI, and he was like having quirky conversation with him. That's pretty funny. I like the whole dynamic with the funny Nolan North. He does it really well. So, all right. Let's see. JZ, do you have anything else?
No, that was everything. The last 3 comments I had written down.
Okay. Psycho asked if we'll have to go to the new planets per class to get the new subclasses. That would kind of make sense, I guess. I think Hawthorne's going to have a big part of that. We sort of touched on her before. She's going to be the runner of that settlement that we end up in on Earth. And,
I want to touch on her.
What?
Got him.
Nothing.
Okay. So I think I think we'll learn them at Earth somehow, but I'm not really sure how it's going to work. So I guess we'll see. That's something... I thought for sure you have the lore that perfectly supports the Taken King subclasses not really being powered by the Traveler. And at this point they might amend that somehow and make it more clear in Destiny 2. But I thought for sure if we were going to keep any subclasses it would be those, but no, we keep subclasses from year 1, which is really weird to me, but I guess we'll find out why. That's why I'm so excited. These last few weeks I've been really delving into the lore of Destiny. I've been like writing down connections between characters and really finding out as much as I can, reading all the Grimoire again and stuff. And like it's so rich. This universe is ridiculous, man. So I'm pretty...
Too bad 99% of the people don't ever see that though, because they don't read the Grimoire.
Oh man, that's why. So in Destiny 2, I'm gonna start covering the lore a lot more heavily than I do now, and I'm pretty excited for that. Just adding on top of my usual bunch of content I do. I'm pretty excited for that. Cub140 says that he notices he didn't see any engrams drop in the reveal event. So someone was asking me about this. So no, engrams did not drop, but neither did any other loot. It's a closed build, so they didn't want to show off random loot and stuff. I believe engrams will still be in there. First off, we see a Cryptarch in the gameplay of the settlement on Earth. We see the Cryptarch back there, so they're obviously there. Engrams are a huge part of Destiny's lore. They're how we learn everything that we know about the Golden Age. So what an engram is, real quick, it is the purest form of matter. So you have liquid, solid, gas, and then you have engrams. So during the Golden Age, they found out that you could take these scientific discoveries and these guns and you could revert them to their most basic form of matter, which is an engram. And so what Cryptarchs do, they decrypt it, or they just decrypt it, whatever, and they make it back to what it was originally. So engrams are not just a random game mechanic; they're a huge part of the lore. They're how we learn everything. So no, they're not going to be getting rid of them. They'll be there. Yeah. Let's see what else. Did you guys like how they kept teasing the raid?
Yeah. They showed like a screenshot or 2 of it, but that's it. Probably the beginning.
I don't even think that was the raid, because the screenshot that they showed when he brought up the raid, it was Hive based. And I'm really hoping for a Cabal. raid.
It was just
so.
a set of stairs, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a set of stairs, but
The
you
one
can see it was very obviously hive based, like a dreadnought kind of thing.
No, the one I remember was like a gigantic room, and it looked like it had like a diamond-shaped door at the bottom of some stairs, and at the bottom left of the image was 6 guardians standing on a platform. It looked very Vault of Glass.
I'll go back and check that out. After this, I plan on doing a 5 things you missed video, so I'll see what I can find out then.
And yeah, and they weren't even talking about the raid when that picture came up. They were talking about like like the social aspect or something. Like it was just a random screenshot, and I remember seeing that and like God, that literally looks like a raid entrance. But would they show that at this point?
Huh.
So I think that might have been it. If I can find it, I'll try and show it to you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty excited because I'm gonna go back. They showed so much, but so little at the same time. You know, like they showed us like 4 trailer things, and it was all of it pretty crazy. Man, I'm so excited for Destiny 2. There's so much to talk about and play. The beta's soon. We got what a lot of people presume to be a beta date in the form of a Engram 17.17.7, which backwards is June 17th, 2017. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So I guess we'll see. E3 is soon, right? Next month?
Yep. End of June.
June 13th, something like that.
Or yeah, the middle of June. Yep.
Yeah. So. Oh man, guys, we
I
have
think it was
so
July for Destiny 1, if I remember right.
E3 or
when
the
they did their beta.
Okay, yeah.
Beta.
So I think E3 ended, and then it was like a week and a half after E3 they did it. I think it actually started on Bungie Day, if I'm not mistaken. On July 7th. So
it was early to mid July. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Man, I'm so excited. I'm hoping the beta isn't just what we played. I'm hoping there's a little bit more, just because, I mean, 7 hours of that was enough to get a huge grasp of it. I'm hoping we get access to some patrol area, hopefully, maybe, and maybe more than one type of Crucible play. But other than that, because I could play that Crucible all day. It was really fun. It really was. Yeah, I think everyone's gonna love it, and that's the thing. Like, it's so hard to convey. I know I'm using like the same adjectives over and over again. It's so hard to convey what I played, just because it just feels, it's like Destiny, but it's so unlike Destiny. It's so much more, and it's really hard to kind of tell you guys what you haven't played. So just wait for the beta. You guys are gonna love it for sure.
I'm guessing we'll get a patrol in the beta as well, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And
you go.
Speaking of, I really liked how they talked about the director, where you can, instead of having to go to orbit for everything, you can fly directly to where you need to go.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think the only use for the director, I think when you first log on, the director will be what your screen is, and then past that, I don't think you'll ever see it unless you go like AFK in a zone or something. Then maybe it'll get kicked back out to orbit. But other than that, oh my god, it's a shame too, man. The director is gorgeous. It is just so beautiful. Just oh man, it's so hard to again convey it. It just looks so realistic and dark, and their shading. The one thing I noticed, their shading with everything was on point. It was so good. So yeah, Jason Tyler says, I just hope they deliver PvE wise, because I'll be mad if they don't. They will. Just based on the strike, based on what we heard about the patrols, I assume the raid's going to be amazing. And they most definitely are going to deliver, man. Don't worry about that at all. All right.
Ready for my rant?
Oh yeah, dude! I totally forgot about that. Oh, we have an Icono rant. Hashtag Icono rant in chat. Let's do it.
It's not even an Icono rant, because I'm not nearly as upset now as when I was watching the video and I'm taking all these notes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through this note by note and just read it as I was typing it, because this is real. This is like how I was feeling when I first watched it. So it's unfiltered. It's like there's no rhyme or reason to it. So if it looks like it's all over the place, trust me, it's because it is. Okay. So, very first note I have here. why spend 80% of the reveals showing rehashes of content we already have? So what that note means is this is supposed to be Destiny 2. This is supposed to be a sequel. This is supposed to be bigger, better, more, that's what sequels are, right? So why did they spend literally 80% of this reveal showing us strikes, showing us that there's going to be a raid, there's going to be Crucible, there's the very first mission that they show is in the tower, somewhere that we've already been already. I felt like there wasn't enough emphasis on what's new. It's a sequel. It's supposed to be new, different. And I felt like they were saying, we've got strikes, guys. Everybody, yay. And it's like, well, yeah, I've been playing strikes for 3 years. What am I going to be doing now? What's different? So that was the first impression I got off that.
Okay, I'd like to respond before we can go impression by impression. So I'd like to respond to that. Just having played everything, I think the way I was taking it, I was hyped, dude. I was in that room. Everyone was freaking out. I think where they were coming from is that... Did you lag out? Okay.
No, I left.
Okay. So the... Yes, there's a lot of returning things, but I think that's because it's a Destiny game. Like, I saw a lot of people who didn't play it complaining that it's too similar to Destiny 2, and you didn't really get that feel from a lot of people. I was asking everyone at the event, what do you think? Everyone was loving it. I'm talking like everyone was loving it. And yes, it's a lot of the same, but so is like all the Halo series. And I mean, from the way I was describing it, the difference between Halo 1 or Halo 2 and Halo 3 is essentially like the same difference between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. There's new stuff, there's better graphics, there's more guns, there's better storytelling and all that stuff, but it's supposed to be the same franchise. Like, of course they're going to keep strikes and stuff, and that's a big part of the gameplay. So
well, don't get me wrong. I am aware that there's going to be new stuff. I guess my concern is that this was the first gameplay reveal, and they didn't show any of it. So they talked about this new Crucible game mode. They talked about 4v4 instead of 6v6, but they didn't show any of it. They talked
I guess that's kind of what they were relying on the YouTubers to do, I suppose. But you're right.
Well,
I can see that.
They talked about the big thing is like this new world where you have a map now, and then there's like you're finding these dungeons and you're doing treasure maps and talking to NPCs. That's all really freaking amazing stuff to hear about. That's like really good news. That's like Patrol taken to like the nth degree. That's completely changing the game for Destiny. That, and like we were talking about earlier, that's like turning it into an MMO, and that's huge. Okay, cool. Let's see it. No, hour goes by, we never see it. So my impression was like, okay, you're telling us that everybody that's there in attendance is going to get to play a Crucible match, they're going to get to play a strike, but nobody gets to see this new world that you just built? Like that, see, if I was Bungie, I would be like, okay, we've got Destiny 2. We know that we've got strikes coming back. We know you love your strikes. We got a raid coming. We're not going to show you anything, but I just want to let you know there's going to be a raid coming. But here's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you what you haven't seen before. Let's show you the new world that we're building. And then the lights would go down, and they would show some video of some guy like landing in Patrol. And then he goes and does a patrol beacon. Then he checks his map. He sees there's going to be a public event. He goes and does the public event because it showed up on his map. Then he talks to some NPC that tells him about a lost sector, and he has to go fight that boss. Like, show us the new stuff. Don't just talk about it. I felt like there was a lot that they could have shown me, but they didn't.
I think they're probably saving it for E3. Or
possibly
even later than that. I mean, you're not.
So
if they show everything now 4 months out, then everyone's going to be bored by the game by the time it comes out. I think the amount they showed was perfect.
So can I weigh in on this?
Yes, Jay-Z,
sure.
Go. Oh.
So
yes, please.
So I think they wanted to show the elements of Destiny 1 that you enjoyed, but they wanted to show the improvements that they made on those elements. So I think that's why they brought in the people that knew how to do those and show that off. And like Scaro said, at E3 they're gonna hopefully show off. I really want to see Patrol. I want to see what that world looks like, and exactly what Icano said. But I think in order to bring the elements that everybody's used to, and the people that are used to doing them, that's why they brought in that, and they revealed how much better these are going to be for the community, for the player.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I just thought of something really funny real quick I want to throw out there. So they were inviting all these people that don't play Destiny, right? And I saw one of the, she was a huge like PC gamer, I forget her name exactly, but she tweeted out that she wanted to thank Activision for flying her out to the Bungie 2 reveal events. And people were going off on her because she didn't even know what the game was called. And
Was she... You don't remember who it is?
No, I don't remember who it was. I'll find out on Reddit.
Was it Sniper Wolf?
I don't think it was Sniper Wolf. I think that would be hilarious if it was. But I know she was there. But
yeah.
I just found that hilarious that you have some of our the most hardcore people ever, and they invited people that they don't even know what the game is freaking called, and they just sat through a freaking keynote. Oh, man.
So, I guess we never brought this up. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I had 2 parts to my rant. So that was just my first impression. Like, as the video started, as the whole event started, that was just part 1. By the end of it, the way I felt is that over the last 3 years, Bungie has had a stigma attached to it. That when they come out with updates, they're just rehashing stuff that we've already played. And you know, it's you know, like perfect example, that strike that you guys are doing on the Alakul, or not Alakul. What's the guy that you're doing right now?
Not Golgoroth.
Malak, yeah, Grass Malak. So all that is the Fogoth room, just you're going backwards instead of forwards. You know, that's been a complaint about Bungie for a while, is that they rehash stuff and they, you know, they don't really do much new. They just, you know, redo what we already have. At the end of this whole reveal thing, what I felt was like, I didn't see anything that felt like a sequel. Everything that they showed me were just improvements of what Destiny 1 didn't do.
Well, define what a sequel is then, because name one sequel that completely changes the game.
I'm not asking like what I'm saying is that, like, if you look at vanilla Destiny to TTK, and then you look at Rise of Iron to Destiny 2, it's the same progression. It just
I believe that Taken King should have been a new game. I believe that. It was kind of advertised as a new game, in fact. I mean, it had its own collector's edition and everything. I consider... I mean, hell, even Taken King is referred to as Bungie as Year 2 Destiny. Rise of Iron is not referred to as Bungie as Year 3. Like, Taken King was a proper sequel. It was just downloaded so we didn't have to spend more money on the disc.
Right.
So, Jay-Z, what's your weighing in on that?
I think that they would split the fan base too much if they made a completely different experience, or if they changed too much. Honestly, like I said with my notes that I made, or what you and I talked about last week, I'd be happy if they just kept the same everything and just added, you know, all new stuff. Like kept the same gunplay, kept the same gameplay, kept the same supers, whatever. Like I like, you know, that's the reason I play the franchise, is because I like the core mechanics. I like what it's doing, and for them to change it too drastically
exactly,
I would still play it probably, but I mean, it might split some of the fan base.
And so. Psycho in chat brought up the difference between Borderlands and Borderlands 2. Man, like, that's not even that huge of a difference. The graphics are redone in Borderlands 2. They redid the gun system, as in the different factions and stuff. But a lot of the factions are returning in Borderlands 2 from Borderlands 1. A couple of them disappeared out of nowhere. You have characters that...
Atlas.
Atlas, SNS, all of them. They just disappeared. And then, but you had new ones like Torg in Destiny 2 in Borderlands 2 that didn't exist in Borderlands 1. It's kind of like how we didn't see anything about what is the End company who makes the Extinction event? No, what's it called? The new gun that we got with the Rise of Iron, the machine gun. Not Nissan. This is really
the machine gun.
Yeah, the machine gun, the heavy.
I don't know what machine gun you're talking about.
The heavy one that slows down when you fire it. The exotic. The only exotic machine gun that we got with Taken. No, that's a lie as well.
Like the Fire Lord, the Void Lord?
The Nemesis Star?
The Nemesis Star, there you go. Yeah, Nemesis Star is a theory for extinction. That's why I was thinking that. Yeah, Nadir, there you go. So Nadir, it doesn't look like they're going to have any emphasis in Destiny 2, and they didn't have any emphasis in Destiny 1 until then. But Viced is brand new, and it's the same thing. I mean, Borderlands 2, it changed locations. We're changing locations in Destiny 2. It changed gun types. We're getting brand new gun types in Destiny 2. It changed characters, but it had 4 new characters, but you gotta think each of the characters only has 1 class, and we're getting 3 brand new subclasses. So, same thing. It changed.
So here's a question on that, Scarrow.
Okay.
So Borderlands 2 took the Borderlands 1 gun system, which Borderlands 1 actually had more variations of guns, which I kind of enjoyed. But Borderlands 2 took each faction had its own like thing, like its special ability on the gun.
Yeah.
Like, do you hope that happens in Destiny 2? Because they don't really have that now.
I think they're gonna.
Archetypes.
I think with the introduction of Vice being SMGs, I think that's what they're gonna try to do. I see. It's kind of a give and take. I would like if they did it, but in the same kind of instance, the Borderlands guns don't look entirely too different because it was weapon parts, not exactly like a base foundry. But in Destiny, Amalong guns look so much different than Hake. And what I would hate to happen, I mean, Hake already does that. All their SMGs get a 4th bullet, that kind of thing. Like, they already kind of have that sort of thing.
I guess, yeah. But that was brought in Taken King.
Yeah, exactly.
They weren't there before.
But what I would hate to happen is, since Destiny guns are so diverse and they look differently, look so different, unlike, Borderlands, I would hate for the best guns to be something that was aesthetically unpleasing. Like, if I had to use a Hake weapon because it was the best, I would not be a fan of that. I do not like the gritty blockiness of Hake weapons, and I would not enjoy if I had to use them just because they had a perk that went well with hunters or something. So
what's funny is I do the same thing. Like, there's guns that are better in my inventory that I don't use because I don't like the look of them when I'm playing. Kind of
I'm the same way.
Okay. So yeah, and so I like the idea of foundries having their own little thing, but I don't want them to be so drastic that it would affect which guns I use and don't use. So I hope they get something, but I hope each faction is known for sort of like how who makes Truth in Gallifrey? Felix Crux. I like how Crux and his other guy, how they make rocket launchers. I would like if Vice made SMGs, or other factions still make SMGs, but they're not as good at it. If grenade launchers were something grittier like Hake, which we did see a couple of Hake. I actually played with a Hake grenade launcher. If Almalon made more auto rifles and scout rifles, then they were just better at it. That kind of thing. So
how about different pieces and parts from guns like Borderlands does?
That would be cool,
like
but
they give different attributes.
But having played with the weapons, that's not the case. But that would be awesome.
Because I kind of like that, because you could, like, there's so many variations of the same weapon that you could tweak the stats just barely, but they would make differences. And I thought that was kind of cool.
And I guess you can kind of look at it the same thing. Borderlands doesn't have perk trees. Destiny 2 weapons do have perk trees, and there's now a confirmed weapon mod slot, which we don't know what it's going to do. But we know
it's
that...
just not a skin.
Yeah. Oh, that would suck. I think it'll be something more than that. But there you go. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I do like weapon diversity. They definitely are hitting more weapon diversity in Destiny 2 from what I've seen. But I like the way they're going with the foundries. And anyways, to circle around to my main argument, all the way back to the front, Destiny 2 is as different from Destiny 1 as most sequels are to their original game. Like, if you change the entire thing, it's not a sequel anymore. It's a completely... Like, BioShock Infinite is not considered BioShock 3. It is completely different. It is part of that franchise, but the game makers at Irrational Games have said the next game, before they disbanded, would have been called Bioshock 3, because Infinite was not a sequel. It was a separate instance that tied into the universe. And I think it is very important to keep a lot of the same characteristics of the game to tie it back in, especially to keep your player base. And that is the end of my response.
And to be clear, you know, I'm aware that there's going to be new stuff, you know, with the patrol and the adventures and things like that. I guess my gripe was that we had this big gameplay reveal that I had been getting hyped for, like, I don't know, months or weeks, however long we knew that this reveal was going to be happening. And when we finally got there, all I was watching an hour-long video on was announcements of what I've already been playing for 3 years. Like, if you got this new massive patrol thing and all these new worlds and all this new thing with, like, NPCs and finding these dungeons, like that that lost sectors that they talked about, that was probably the most excited I got in the whole reveal. Was like that really made it feel like Skyrim to me, and that it made it feel like I have stuff to go discover, you know. So I just felt like, you know, I just watched an hour of getting announcements about things that I've already done, and I'm watching guys using new supers, and that's cool. But then I am aware that Gunslinger's back, and I've been doing that for 3 years too.
But it's all reworked. I say give it to the beta. You will be feeling completely different. Everyone that's being pessimistic and saying this is too much like Destiny 1 that has not had hands-on time with the game, I have not met one person that actually played the game that said that. So point me in that direction, I'll have a conversation with them, whatever. But everyone else saying that's too similar, you just wait. Like, your socks are about to be blown off, and you're going to feel pretty dumb here in a couple months. All I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sure it's awesome. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I'm aware. I already paid my $100 for the Ultimate Edition. So, I mean, they've already got my money. They're going to get another 2,000 hours from me, you know, no doubt. But I guess what I'm saying is that, like, I was going into this reveal kind of hyped to see something new, and I heard about something new. I just wish that they would have, you know, show me a little bit about this patrol thing. Show me anything new besides 3 new subclasses. You know, that's all. I was expecting a sequel announcement, not just an announcement that made me feel like there was nothing that they showed me just now that couldn't have been a DLC.
Yeah, and I guess I'm in a really weird position because I can't relate to that. Because as soon as I watched everything, I went straight and I played it. So I don't. Jay-Z, how are you feeling in terms of that? Because you're the closest person in this party to having the same experience. So how do you feel about what they showed you?
I was happy with it. Like, I wasn't like jumping out of my seat, oh my gosh, this is awesome, but it was a lot of what I was hoping for.
That's weird, because everyone that at the event, we were going insane, dude. We were all. I mean,
it would be different if I was there, like, probably, like, because I watched it when I came home from work after I had already heard some spoilers from people in our clan chat. Thanks, guys. But, anyways, but I mean that they're gonna talk about it because they're watching it right then. Like, I was at work, I couldn't unfortunately watch it live, so. But so I already knew a lot of the big reveals that they did because I happened to catch them out of the corner of my eye when I was looking through it. But I mean, it was super exciting. Like, the bigger patrol areas, all the stuff that I mentioned before, just really, like, I'm like, this is what I'm looking for. This is not that I wasn't going to play it for thousands of hours to begin with, but
yeah,
it was everything. Pretty much that I wanted, other than like a few things, like maybe more variety and like actually more like but we don't know what the archetypes of guns are yet.
Exactly.
The archetypes per class or anything like that. That's stuff that
we didn't even get. Like, all of our stuff was pretty much the same archetype when we played too. Like, all the shotguns that we were able to use across all 3 characters were all the garbage high rate of fire ones. Like, we have no idea how viable those are going to be, just because they didn't let us know, right? So,
well, I'm excited I can have a scout rifle and a hand cannon at the same time on the same character, one being exotic that's specific to that raid like you talked about earlier, or, you know, that helps out in a situation, and then you can use something else for up close or for a different in the same set. So like you can have a scout rifle, 2 scout rifles even, or 2 pulse rifles, or whatever. Like rather than you have to have a set primary, special, and heavy.
All right. Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that's pretty much as far as we're going to get in that conversation. I think it's pretty much running in circles until people get to play it for themselves and then realize, like, holy goodness. Just wait till you see it, though. Like, make sure you're playing on an HD TV. That's all I'm saying. Turn that gaming mode on. You want to have those colors pop, man. Psycho asks if does using the same weapon type in your kinetic and energy slots pull the ammo from the same pool? Nope. Your elemental, so that actually green ammo still drops, like special ammo still drops, but it's actually ammo for that, and it pulls from a completely different pool. So nothing to worry about there. Yeah, that's all I got in chat for the moment. Does anyone else have any closing remarks, or have we pretty much discussed? I think we've pretty much hit everything though. So,
I think the one thing that maybe some of the chat wants to hear is the people that you met.
People that I met. Oh man, I met a lot of people, guys, and I realized
like that actually you talked to.
Yeah. People I had actual conversations with that I did not record because I'm an idiot. Dado is so chill though. Dado. I can't even say his name right now. Dado. He's so cool. He was just hanging back, just watching PvP. He wasn't even playing when I talked to him, and he was loving it. So it was pretty cool. I talked to Tefty for a bit. I got to play Crucible with Tefty. I felt kind of bad because that was the game I won on my 14 kill streak, and he got like 3. He was on my team, sitting right next to me, and I kind of stole a couple kills. So Tefty's really cool. I talked to Deej. Deej is fantastic too. I just feel like I feel so bad for the guy. I know it's his job, but literally for the 5 hours that we were playing, well, I guess it was closer to 6 hours. He was just in one chair, and news media people they all had like 30-minute intervals to do interviews. So he was answering the same questions over and over and over again for 6 hours, and that's just got to be terrible, you know. I did meet Miss 5000 Watts. I did not have a conversation with her. I actually feel kind of bad about that because I just walked up to her and I was like, I'll have a friend who will get insanely jealous if I get a picture with you, so let's do it. And looking back, I wish I would have had a conversation with her, but I did not, so my bad. I talked to Cosmo, but only to get a Union of Light code. What's up? Oh, I should be using it! What am I doing? I'm not even using that emblem right now. Freaking, who else did I talk to? I talked to like freaking everyone.
That's so funny.
MTash? Okay, guys, so I had the best conversation with MTash. It's really hard to describe this over 140 characters on Twitter. So we just got done playing Crucible on computer. Amazing, by the way. And so I'm walking out of there with the guys I'm hanging out with, and I look across the room, and for some, like, just an instant, like, MTash and my eyes lock, and I just look at him, and just out of instinct, I went, 1v1 me, bro. And it was from, like, 150 feet away. And he approaches me, and he goes, do you know who I am? But in his, like, funny, goofy MTash voice that he does when he's being completely not serious. It was so funny. He goes, I will wreck you. You will be sent home right now. And it was really awesome. And I didn't actually get to 1v1 him. They weren't a lot of people to do that, but he seems like a really, really cool guy in real life. He was definitely just hanging out, man. All of them. It's so weird actually, like, seeing them just be people, you know? That's something you don't get to see too often. I felt kind of bad because I met, like, who did it? It wasn't Lace Up Lauren. I met someone that I know of, but I've never seen her face before. No, it was not Lace Up Lauren. I'm really trying to remember who it was. Give me a sec. Female.
Chief.
Wasn't
KK.
No. Oh, Lady Desiree. I met Lady Desiree. And
okay.
I had no idea who she, like, I know of her. I know what she does, but I've never seen her face. So I was just having, like, a conversation with her. And she was like, yeah, what do you do? And I was like, I'm a YouTuber. And I was like, what do you do? And she goes, oh, I'm Lazy Desiree. And I was like, oh my God, like, I know who that is. Like, after having like a 10-minute conversation with her. I met the people who made Destiny's Trials Report and the guy who made Dim. I was saying, people I didn't mention who I met Impact Props. He's really cool. He's the guy that does like the, his really famous thing. He went to his finals dressed as Lord Saladin. And then he did the dance compilation after he finished him. That was really funny. I met him. I actually got a, one sec, do I have it anywhere? I don't know where that is. It was, I don't actually know where that is. One sec, guys. I'm going to try to find that. Never mind. I'll post a picture of it on the final version of this. But it's like a dead orbit keychain thing. It's really cool. He made them for everyone there. Then I met, I'm trying to remember who I told you guys I met. I met like Destiny Overwatch. I met like everyone. I met so many people. So it's pretty crazy. I think I walked right past Sniper Wolf. I'm not the biggest Sniper Wolf fan, so I'm not sure. But I believe I saw her as well. Yeah, so people told me to ask Deej if he sits there toying with our RNG, like just in his pajamas like at night and making sure, like screwing people over. And I tried to ask him that, I really did, but he was on such a tight schedule that I had time to record that. And I was like, can I ask you one more question? He's like, look, I gotta go do this interview. And he's like, after this, if you catch me again, I'll be glad to answer it. So unfortunately I did not get to do that, which kind of sucks, but it would have been kind of funny. But Deej is an awesome guy though. He seemed really chill, but he was definitely on a time crunch. Yeah, is that all?
Oh, you tell us. Who else did you meet?
I'm trying to think, man. I posted all the pictures. It's so many people to remember. I met a lot of really cool guys, like smaller YouTubers and streamers around my size. It was actually surprising how many people around my size are smaller there were. That's really interesting. So, trying to think. Yeah, I think that's pretty.
That is. I am kind of wondering that because like you didn't hit 4,000 subs until after this, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering what their threshold was. Like if I had just started doing my Twitch thing and I didn't really have that many followers on Twitch yet, would I have been invited? You know, like I'm just wondering like how many. I wonder what their threshold was before they started inviting people.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm sure they had something, but I don't know. I think also I know you had to be positive. Like you had to have a very. There were a couple YouTubers that were disappointed that they didn't get invited, but they understood. Like they knew it was because they were a little bit more negative towards the Destiny community kind of thing. So. Little C asked if Striker Titans still only have one use of Slam. Nope, they get like 3 or 4. It's actually a roaming super, so you can now shoulder charge in it. You can slam multiple times. It's pretty insane, very powerful. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Before we end all this and get this edited down for Monday. It's only Saturday, right? Is that true?
Yeah, it's Saturday.
Okay. It is Saturday. All day today.
Trying to think. Anything else we saw? Anything at all?
But I think I want to reiterate this again. We are super proud, and it's awesome that not just you got exposure, but our clan got exposure as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Going forward.
Man, and with this whole clans being a huge thing in Destiny 2 kind of thing, I'm pretty excited for that. Oh, I met DPJ and More Console. I totally forgot them. Just throwing that out there. The 2 largest Destiny YouTubers. I just casually in conversation. Oh yeah, I met them. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I believe that's it. I really do. I mean, I met like, I casually like shook hands with a lot of people, but I didn't really have a conversation with a whole bunch. I was more focused on taking the entire event in. Trying to think. Just as I casually come over here and pick up my Union of Light code from the event. Where is it? Everyone be jealous. Best part. This was worth everything right there. All the expenses I spent.
What is the emblem?
Boom. The Union of Light. Are you inspecting my guy?
Yeah.
Boom. That's right. That's one of the rarest. That's like in the top 5 rarest emblems right there. I'll take it. I'll take it for sure. All right, but I think that's going to I think that is going to be the end of the stream. I think that is all of the questions we have. I think that's pretty much it. In the coming weeks, we'll have more discussion about stuff, obviously. And we'll obviously find out more from things people miss from the reveal and stuff. But I'm pretty excited. It was a hell of a week for sure. So once again, I just want to take a quick second to thank you guys, everyone who supports the channel and me and everything I do. Like, obviously, I would not have been able to go without you guys. So I appreciate that. Yeah, anything else? Any other questions? Are we good?
Oh, I guess that's it.
We're good.
All right. Well, I'm Scaro9. You can find me at Scaro9 on Twitter and just regular Scaro9 on YouTube. But if you're watching this, you know that. Then Jay-Z, just say your name.
Jay-Z Basketball 25.
Jay-Z does not like the social medias, which I respect. I don't have any personal social media, so I get that. And then Icona, do your thing.
You can find me on Xbox at XXIconoclast, and you can also get me on Twitter that way too.
All right, cool. Well, that was episode 17, and people did not like the last word ending, so I'm not going to do that anymore. I thought it was pretty good, though. But yeah, I guess we'll see you in episode 18 next week, so see you guys.